Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be talking about this brand new Homeageddon event that we've just got from Tapped Out. So it's called the Bart Royale. It was the Homeageddon teaser, but this is actually called Bart Royale. So essentially what it is it's like this kind of battle royale sort of kind of like post-apocalypse kind of event. It's got it is a bit weird, and I get like the Mad Max feel from it, really. That's what it kind of feels like to me. But basically this kind of dystopia kind of idea, like after the world being destroyed, basically after like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. So it's a weird theme, and it kind of works. I don't know. I have problems with it. Like sometimes I just don't really like Wendell, for example, who's in the event. He just doesn't really seem to go with this theme. Also, Pyro, they're cool characters, and I definitely am glad they're in the game. But they don't really fit into this to me. It felt a little bit forced. So there's certain things like that. But anyway, let's get into the structure. So first of all, the structure is basically the normal stuff, basically the 3-act structure, where we have all the prizes. Now there is like the scraps and stuff for the crafting that's a prize. Also a free land token is a prize. Another thing real quick, if you go to buy new land, now you need a free land token. You can't pay cash. They've changed it, which I think is really annoying. I haven't got a picture for that, but if you guys look at that, I don't know if that's just me, but for some weird reason, after I've run out of tokens, it won't let me actually get the land. It needs a token still, which is really weird. So just thought I'd mention that real quick. But yeah, the structure's pretty standard. Obviously, 13 days for each act, and yeah, there's going to be 2 more acts. So moving on, let's go to the crafting. So the crafting this time, and I often think the last couple events, the crafting hasn't been great. This crafting was actually not too bad. I actually kind of like the crafting in this. I think there's definitely a lot of things, and the final one you get is a building skin, which I'll show in a bit, but was really cool. I actually liked a lot of the decorations. The only one decoration they recycled was the skylight, but apart from that, they're all brand new decorations. That's really cool. I actually like the crafting in this. I think it was cool. Anyway, moving on. Next we have the Mega Playscape. Mega Playscape. Basically, this is obviously the thing where you can fortify and you assault it. So you get people to fortify it and then get people to assault it, and then you earn the currency and stuff from doing that, which is kind of cool. And if you go over here, there's going to be a few more of these that we're probably going to get in Act 2 and 3. If you look here, it basically, we have the Mega Playscape, we have the Junk Base, and we have the Ruffian Fort. So they look really cool. Definitely some cool decorations cool buildings to have, and I like how they. I kind of like it's annoying because it reminds me a little bit of Clash of Clans, I'll be honest, or Clash of Crap if you want. So it's not like amazing because it gives me that really bad taste, but I mean it's not that bad. I guess it's okay, and yeah, you can basically, if you look here, you can place stuff around, decorations around it to kind of like bring up the fortify thing. It's really odd, and there's some cool decorations you can see there as well. Moving on, let's go to characters, because I think this is the most exciting thing in this event is the characters. There's some really good characters they're adding, and I'm pretty cool, and some cool costumes as well, which I don't often say, but yeah, definitely some cool costumes. First of all, we have the first of all we'll go to the C-list celebrities. So here you can see at the end of the C-list celebrities, Pyro. Pyro is basically this like reality TV star, but he's also he was not married, but he was Milhouse's mother's boyfriend for a bit, so he's kind of a cool character to have. Anyway, moving on. We have Even More Kids, and Even More Kids, they've added Wendell, Eric, and this is Snake. I think this is Snake Jr. I'm not too sure if that's his actual name, but this is Snake's son anyway. So that's really cool. Not too sure who Eric is, to be honest, but I know Wendell, I know Snake Jr. or whatever his name was. But so I'm glad that they've added those two anyway. They're really cool characters to have. Then we have Barflies, which this is the thing I'm probably most excited about, is the Barflies. So they finally added Sam and Larry. So Sam and Larry in there. I hope they actually are called Sam and Larry and they're not called like Barflies. call them by their actual name. I'm not too exactly sure how they're fitting these guys into this event, but however they're doing it, I'm really excited. Even if it's like a guilds deal or something, I don't really care. Really cool that they're now finally in the game. I'm so glad about that. And moving on, we have the Scrappy Fighters. Now, I don't know who this first guy is. We've got a costume for Maggie there with General Bart, and I think this fourth one is a costume for Lindsay Neagle, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of cool because she's not really a big character, so it's kind of cool she's getting a costume. And then in Dystopian Fighters, we have these first two guys. I'm not too sure. This guy with like the knife, this kid with the knife, I don't know who he is either. Don't really know what episodes they're from. But then we also have the Mayor Mo, or the Emperor Mo, or whatever you want to call him, which is really cool because obviously he has the cone in his head and he has the fit like from the Simpsons movie, so that's really cool. And I'm glad that they're adding that in the game. That's a really cool costume to have. And then if you scroll over, there's another costume here for Mr. Burns. Again, I'm not sure what this is really, but he's looking really weird. So that costume as well. Yeah, and that's it in terms of characters. So some really cool characters. I think it's lacking a little bit in terms of characters, unless I'm wrong and there is going to be more characters and they're just not quite in the character collection yet. But it is a little bit weak on characters, I've got to say. And because I'm presuming that Sam and Larry are going to be donuts. So I don't know. I'm a bit wary on characters. And then another thing that happened is EA did their little scummy thing again. Obviously, it's not as bad as the first time they did it, because when the first time they did it, they basically restricted that entire event to that. And I'm not as annoyed with this one really, because it is actually a really cool costume. And in some ways, I guess you could say it's worth the $9.99. I don't know if I would quite say it's worth the $9.99, but it is a kind of a cool costume. It's the one with Mole Man, and you can see he's in this kind of big robot thing. It looks really cool. So I'll agree that is a cool costume. Me providing it is a costume. It might be a character, but either way, it's pretty cool. So, but I still don't think it's worth $9.99. Definitely not. It's just you know, it's not as bad as the squeaky voice peasant. So this is probably the least one, the one that's the most, not the most annoying. You know, because this one isn't too annoying. But you know, there you go. Then here's the building skin. This is the for the courthouse, the wrecked courthouse, basically, the fortified courthouse. I forget exactly what it's called, but basically, oh yeah, it's the wrecked courthouse. It's the courthouse all like wrecked, obviously, after the post-apocalyptic thing happened. I'm pretty sure that's from the Simpsons movie, actually. And then finally, I'll just do a quick building and decoration showcase. So here's a bunch of decorations here. Some pretty cool stuff here. So there's a big skull thing. I don't know the names for everything, but there's like the dodgeball, a finals court. There's the Zip Zap Zay, which Wendell came with. The Scrap City there. You have the that little statue of Bart with his ass out. That's pretty funny. I don't know. And then if you scroll over here, there's also this like kind of little playgroundy things. I don't really know exactly what this was about. It's like training kids or something, I don't know, but that's there as well. But yeah, so let's go back to the splash screen. Anyway, so what do I think about this event? So really, it to me it's okay thus far. It's not like bad, but I don't know, it kind of like to me feels like it's on the sort of same level as the Time Travel and Toaster and Secret Agents events. Like those two events were like meh events. They were okay. They weren't bad. I think this one is another one where it's just like kind of like it's good, but it's not great. It's like very mediocre, but not bad. Definitely not bad. I wouldn't say this was a bad event because purely on the characters. Like I think the characters alone, I just don't like the idea of a dystopia event. It just doesn't, to me, feel like you can really work with a lot of that. And I was looking, because I was going to do a predictions, but I was looking for a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of episodes that were like this, and I was thinking there really isn't much. I thought they would have the Mo costume, and I was right on that. I didn't expect Sam and Larry. I didn't expect Wendell. I didn't obviously make a predictions video, but this is just when I was planning to do one. I was like, there wasn't really much point because it was going to be out today anyway, and I was like, I can't be bothered. But yeah, there was definitely, it's just, to me, it seems really weird. It feels like another kind of obscure thing. Like, I guess the casino event as well is similar, or the Wild West. Like, a really obscure kind of theme that isn't really done that much in The Simpsons, but they've just kind of thrown a bunch of stuff together. Like, the dystopian theme really isn't done in The Simpsons very often. Like, there isn't, like, like, for example, you could make if you really wanted to, you could make a like a school themed event. You could make a alcohol themed event. This because there's so much content, but like this just doesn't seem like there isn't that much content for me, and it's just kind of it feels a little bit kind of forced as well. They kind of forced. I don't know how they're going to introduce Sam and Larry into this, and I don't really get why Wendell was put in this. So it's just, to me, it's a little bit weak in terms of that, but it's not bad. It's okay. I'm not a massive fan of the whole fortifying. Like that to me just is a bit weird. There is obviously a new tappable thing, and that's the, I don't forget what they're called now, but you guys can see what they're called. I mean, overall this event's okay. I definitely don't think it's bad, like I said, but not particularly amazing. It's an okay event to start the year, I guess, but from what I can tell thus far. But I don't know. I feel like it's not going to be. It's not the kind of oomph I was looking for. I was looking for like another Destination Springfield kind of type event. I'm not saying a Destination Springfield 2, but I'm saying like something on that level. I was hoping something on that level would kick off 2018, because that's what really kind of made 2017 like so much better. Is that's how it started. That was the first major event. I was hoping for something, but it's kind of like, it feels like one of those kind of summer events we get. Like there's always like those random summer events we get in the summer, which are just really bad, and I feel like this one kind of is a little bit like that, but just not, but it's not that bad. I mean, I'm just like, so anyway, whatever. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me your thoughts, and yeah, I'll see you next video. Goodbye.